thank you for joining us. It's really exciting to be here to announce the winners of our photography competition. And I'd just like to thank our judges today and all the entrants that we had in the competition. And in a minute, I'll let you know a little bit about the sponsors for the competition, which we're really grateful for their support. And we've had a little bit of a change to the plan tonight. So one of our judges, James, unfortunately won't be able to join us. He's had something come up at the last minute. So, but we will talk a little bit about James's work, and we'll introduce the other two judges, Sophie Anderson and Angela Robertson Buchanan. And then we're going to go through the winners and talk a little bit about the judging and how difficult it was. We had a huge amount of entries in the competition this year, and yeah, sorry, I'm just having trouble with my slide at the moment, but I'm just going to put up our sponsors so that I can share them with you. Okay. So these are all our sponsors for the competition: Wild, Hornsby Beekeeping Supplies, Bee School by Beechworth Honey, Centre for Bee Education, the House of Honey, and Flow. So a really big thank you to all our sponsors for the competition this year. Obviously, we would not be able to have such fantastic prizes and judges without your support. So we really appreciate you supporting the competition this year. So that's that. And I'd just like to, Sophie Anderson is our young judge, and I would like to introduce you to her. I'm just opening up the notes about Sophie, so that I can introduce you, because Sophie needs to leave soon. So we'll just have a quick hello to Sophie, and then we'll get on with things. But I'd just also like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands we're joining from today. I pay my respects to elders past and present, and extend that respect to all First Nations people with us. And little bit about Sophie. Thank you for joining us, Sophie. I know you've got to rush off. Sophie Anderson is an 11-year-old pollinator photography enthusiast from Perth, and in 2024 she won the primary school category with a delightful photo of a European honeybee dancing among poppies. Inspired by nature, Sophie especially enjoys spring walks when the creeks are flowing and flowers are in full bloom, and she's excited to see the creative ways entrants capture pollinators in action this year. Beyond photography, Sophie's an avid reader and enjoys playing t-ball, baseball and netball. And Sophie's just going to say it. Are you going to speak a little bit, Sophie, or are you just going to give us a wave? How brave are you feeling today? Just going to give us a wave?
Yes.
Oh, lovely. Thank you, Sophie. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for the judging. We really appreciate your input in the judging today, and thanks for giving us a little quick hello before you've got to head off. I think you've got sport or something over there in WA, so I hope that goes well, and thank you for joining us, even if it was briefly. And yeah, we appreciate all your judging in the competition.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sophie. Okay, and yes, as I said, James is not able to make it today, which is a shame. We're really sorry that he couldn't join us. So what we're going to do is, I'll just tell you a little bit about James. Dr. James Dorey is an entomologist, photographer and lecturer at the University of Wollongong. He has combined a love of two fields to produce stunning images of insects with both scientific and artistic value. Dr. Dorey has released a book, Bees of Australia, a photographic exploration, published through CSIRO, as well as contributing to many respected magazines, journals and awards. In 2022, he won the botanical category in the Australian Geographic ANZAG Photography Competition, and you can check out his stunning work on the website, which I'd like to share with you because it's just fantastic. So if I can just bear with me while I bring up his website. Because there's we'll pop the link to James's website in the chat, but just to give you a little bit of a snippet of James's images, which we would have loved to have heard him talk about, but he couldn't do that tonight. But as you can see, he's got some beautiful images in here. There's a whole lot of galleries on his website, so if you copy down that link, you'll be able to find them. And this is just one of them, with some just stunning images. So yeah, just lovely work. And hopefully we'll be able to get James to talk a little bit about his work for the recording of this webinar, so that you can go and listen to a little bit more, to hear a little bit more about James on that recording at a later date. But just some beautiful images there from James. So I'll stop sharing that for now, and I'd like to move along and introduce you to Angela, who is able to join us today, and she's got her camera on. Thank you, Angela. And I'll just introduce Angela. Angela's a professional photographer who specialises in flora, fauna and macro photography. And after gaining her degree in art, design and media at Portsmouth University in the UK, Angela worked as a cruise ship photographer. This fast-paced work honed her skills in travel, portrait and social and wildlife photography. After life at sea, Angela moved to London, where she worked at a respected studio that hired its services to the top magazines and photographers. This was a time when film was still used for magazine shoots. Angela worked in a darkroom as a colour hand printer. The studio produced beautiful hand-printed fashion images for magazines like Vogue. And in 2002, Angela moved to Sydney, Australia, and fell in love with the nature here, especially the parrots. And Angela also has a lovely website, which we might pop in the chat, or send out at a later date if we can, because yeah, she's got some beautiful images on her website as well. So Angela, if you want to unmute yourself and share you're going to talk a little bit about some images that you've taken, some of your favourites, and
yes.
Look forward to hearing about that. Thank you.
Did you want me to share? Oh yeah, screen sharing.
I think Candice is going to, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So I got into, I've always been into entomology and insects, and how it stemmed is when I lived in the UK, I found an unusual spider, and I took it to my local natural history museum, and they identified it as a rare Moroccan spider. and they put it on display at the museum. So I think ever since then, I've always been fascinating with like little creepy crawlies. So when I moved to Australia, my mind was completely blown because everything here is so much bigger than anything in the UK. And I have this little obsession with parasitic wasps. And this one here took me actually a year to photograph. And I can never pronounce she's a type of, I think she's pronounced like an inhuman parasitic wasp. There's so many different varieties with really hard pronouncing names. So it's a shame that James isn't here because I'm sure that he would be able to pronounce them perfectly. And so I noticed I had a mango tree in my garden, and one day I noticed all these little yellow wasps all over it. And at first glance, I actually just thought that they were stingy wasps. So I was a little bit kind of wary. But then a closer, I saw that she was kind of using her little antennas to kind of probe the bark off the tree. And then kind of what I found out was she had ovipositors that she was probing and actually laying eggs into her host species, something like borers. And so I had a very specific shot in mind. I wanted side profile, no obscuring background. I wanted both of her antennas kind of in focus. And I wanted the two little ovipositors, like I wanted one to be probing down and then the other one just about to probe down to lay her eggs. So this one actually took a year to do. And every couple of days, whenever they were on there, I'd come out, had my macro lens ready, and I'd just take lots of shots. And a lot of the time, weather has a lot of you know, influence over the shot. So I didn't want it to be a kind of really bright sunny day because the wasp was quite shiny, didn't want to blow out all the yellows, wanted it to keep kind of quite muted. And the funny thing is when I finally got the shot, the mango tree actually fell down and it was actually riddled with borers and termites. So we actually had to get a termite inspection on our house. So it was, thankfully our house was okay. But this image is really special because God, I think about 15 years ago, the Australian Museum used to run an amazing competition called Up Close and Spineless. And it was basically you entered images of insects. And this one was a finalist and it was on display at the Australian Museum. So it was my first ever kind of award-winning photo. So yeah, I was very, very proud of this one and still am.
Yeah, that's incredible, that photo.
So yeah, surprise, surprise, another parasitic wasp. So this again, this one took a lot of planning, but it didn't take as long as the yellow one. And I just noticed this really unusual insect flying around. And at first I thought it was some weird mosquito, but then I kind of followed and saw that she was doing the same thing. So kind of, landing on my wall, probing and just kind of resting. And it's quite interesting because it's only the females that have those really long ovipositors, which, to the untrained eye, they look like a really scary sting, but they're completely harmless and they're really tiny. So she kept landing on the brickwork, but behind her was my dark fly screen. So I thought, how can I, try and accentuate her? So one tip I would say to photographers is get to know your subject. So look at their behavior. So a lot of insects do land in the same spot. They do have the same kind of routine for a couple of days. And she just kept landing in the same spot over a few days. So what I did is I set up the spots that she would land. So on the fly screen, I just put some white card there. And she would land quite high up. So I would I'd have a step ladder ready. And literally I wouldn't have a lot of time to kind of capture her. Um, but again, I had a very specific shot in mind. I wanted side profile, and I wanted because her off poster was so different to the previous one. I just wanted it kind of out straight, so you can kind of see like how crazy her little anatomy is. And she's pretty. And I did actually use a little macro, a soft macro flash that was off camera, and you can actually see the little bit of that reflected in the eye. And that's because this wasp, she's very metallic looking, and I felt like you needed a tiny bit of fill light to kind of show. It's almost like she's wearing armor. So yeah, and I
Yeah.
think another interesting thing with macro is I think this one I did was F22 because I did want to try and have it a little bit scientific and less artistic, and wanted to kind of get as much as focus. And as we know with macro photography, you know, the closer you are to the subject, the less depth of field that you have. So you do have to kind of go up to a really high number to try and get everything in focus if that is the you know, the shot that you're trying to achieve. All right, this one was lucky, and I included it because because they're pollinators. But it's not 100% perfect. Only one of the butterfly's faces is in focus, but it was a really hard shot to achieve. So I used to have my macro lens set up all the time, just lying around ready for when I would see something really interesting in the garden. And I was going out to get the mail, and I saw these two butterflies like joined to the abdomen. And these are little grass blue butterflies, and they're tiny. So they're the really tiny butterflies that you see fluttering around the grass, and they never stay still. You like they're so hard to photograph. But these two linked abdomens, obviously mating, they landed on my rose for like a couple of seconds, and I was just luckily I had the right settings, and I just took a couple of shots, and literally only had a couple of shots before they kind of flitted off um, over my fence. But I really liked it because I loved how they're on a rose. The white rose, the shape of the rose kind of emulates the shape of their wings. And also the background is my fence, and it's kind of the same color as their wings. And if I had a bit more time, I would have just changed my position just a little bit to get them in the same plane, because, you know, the one on the left, its eyes are just like a little bit out of focus. Um, but yeah, sometimes you don't have a lot of time. So this was just really kind of lucky shot.
No, it's gorgeous. Gorgeous shot.
I
Oh,
love I love mantids. I love praying mantises, and the ones that you get here, they're so much bigger than the ones that you get in Europe. This is a stick mantis, and I think she was a female because she didn't actually have the wings on her back, because it's the males that fly. They're the ones with the wings, but the females are just the ones that crawl around. I did a couple. I included the two shots because I love showing that depth of focus, the depth of field. So you can see how I focused on her face and her eyes and the fronts of her little kind of punchy, like, I don't know what they're called, like her front legs, the ones that just looks like she's got boxing gloves on. And then I did the second one because I love just the face is so alien, and I really wanted to get that connection to the viewer. It's almost like, you know, you don't know how big she is, and she's almost like a little creature from outer space. And this one is cropped. It was cropped for my website. So this one was actually portrait, and I did actually get all of her antennas in. Um, but yeah, she was about 10 centimeters. She was so impressive, and she was just walking along my back fence really slowly, trying to be really discreet and camouflaged because we do have a lot of birds around. So she was trying not to be like the next meal for a kookaburra. But I try and have a little bit of human and humor in some of my portraits that I do of insects. And yeah, just I think she's just got a really great face.
yeah, what a character, hey? She's
Yeah.
beautiful.
And yeah, and this just
Mm.
last one. This is again, it's not a difficult. It was a raspy cricket, and they freak me out a little bit because I know that they can bite your toes at night if you're out barefooted. And this little sneaky one was just in my golden cane, and there was just like a little face peeping out. And again, it just looked very alien-like. And I don't know, I really like insect faces because they are so alien looking, and you can really see how, you know, major films maybe get their influence from when they're trying to, you know, to portray an alien of some kind because they're very insect-like. And again, I just like the colors and I liked the shape, and she just looked really sneaky. And then she's got like her one of her little legs kind of on her mouth, so it just, yeah, she just looks cheeky and secretive. So yeah, it's just just one of my favorite images.
Stunning. It's gorgeous. Oh, well, thank you so much for sharing those, Angela. They're incredible photos, and you've obviously got a real talent, and it's really lovely to get a few tips. And I know people might have a few questions to ask you, particularly tips. And so what we might do is, if anyone does have a question, there is a Q&A section in rather than the chat section. So if anyone does have a question for Angela later on, we won't answer them now. We might do it at the end after we announce the winners. So yeah, so if you pop them in there during the announcements, and we will answer them later on. So thank you very much, Angela. That's wonderful. And so we're getting closer to the announcement of the winners, and I will share my screen again. And this up. Yeah, just wanted to give you a quick look at that. I just want to make sure you can actually see that. Yeah. I just wanted to give you a quick look at the range of beautiful images that we got, just a handful of them. I think we got over 400 entries this year. So so just these are just a few, but just stunning, and such yeah, there's some talented photographers out there, and some beautiful images. So I'm sure it was really difficult to do the judging of these. And Angela, I might get you to help me with the announcements, and perhaps if you're happy to talk a little bit about the winners as we go through, and why you chose that one, and you know, and just the process, I guess, of choosing each winner, if you're happy to do that. So let's see. Yeah. So first up, we've got the primary school winner, and it's a $500 prize pool, so a $500 voucher for the winners class, and a $100 hamper from Beechworth Honey, and a certificate for the student. Gotta do that. And in the primary school entries, we had 39 entries this year. So that's really, really great. It's lovely to see some students putting in their entries. And this is our winner, Annabella M. from Arcadia Vale Public School, she's in Year 6 in New South Wales. And it's a little photo of a hoverfly. And Angela, do you want to have a few words about this one, and how you chose this one as the winner, and any comments you might have about it?
Yeah, it was just, well, first of all, hoverflies are really difficult to photograph. And it was just, yeah, the soft background. You can see all the little nectar, I think, on her a little bit. And yeah, it was just the color, like you just got that really nice kind of soft afternoon sun, and yeah, the composition was amazing. And yeah, just a really beautiful soft image, and you know, really hard to get hoverflies like 100% in focus. I don't really stay still that long. So yeah, good. Hard shot, and amazing
Yeah.
that, you know, that Annabella is in year 6.
Yeah, isn't that incredible? So she's going to be a pretty good photographer as she grows up, I'm sure. So it's lovely. Well, thank you. And we'll go to the next one. So secondary school winner, we've got another $500 prize pool. So $500 voucher for the winner's class, $100 hamper from Beechworth Honey, and a 12-month subscription to Wild magazine and a certificate. So the winner for that one is Ellie Wright from Apollo Bay in P12 College in Victoria. Do you want to talk about this one, Angela?
Yeah, and again, the focusing is just spot on the bee, which is so difficult because when you're doing that depth of field, it's really easy to kind of miss the focusing of the insect and get the flowers, because the flowers are the easy bits. They're the ones that aren't moving. The bee's moving, and just really beautiful how it's kind of how she's, right in, intertwined with the flower, and then the dark background, just the colors, the softness, the colors of the flower, just beautiful. And again, like, secondary school age is pretty incredible. So yeah, that was I don't think it was that difficult for us to pick that one.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I love the dark background too. It just gives it a different feeling, doesn't it? It's, yeah, very well captured. Okay, so the next one. So you may have some comments about this one as well, Angela, but I think this is a new category this year, and it's a judge's special mention. And this image will be on the cover of the Ween Bee Foundation 2025 Impact Report. And it was a new category added because it was such a beautiful image, and I think the judges wanted to make sure that that it had acknowledgement and had a nice place to be seen and shown to the world. So do you have any comments about this one yet, or should I just show it?
Do you want to just show? Yeah.
I'll just show it, and then we can.
Yeah.
It's a stunning photo. Just the detail in it is stunning, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just blown away with all of these entries. And it's, again, bees are, there's like, especially blue banded bees, they're really difficult to photograph. And yeah, I love with this one, I love the the furriness of the flowers really matches the furriness to the bee, and they just don't look real. Um, yeah, just stunning. Really nice shot.
Yeah, so congratulations, Marianne, on that one. That's it's a beautiful photo, and yeah, a real favourite, I think. So well done. So the next one, so this is our open category, and it's third place. So again, a $500 voucher for the winners. For the winner, I think, and a $100 hamper from Beechworth Honey, and a 12-month subscription to Wild magazine, and a certificate. And this is by Erica Siegel, who Erica was a winner in our 2022 photo competition. So congratulations, Erica, on another place in the competition again. So clearly you're a good photographer. And yeah, do you want to talk about this one, Angela?
Yeah, I love the drama and the interaction between these two, and the beautiful muted colors in the background. And it's yeah, it's just I think when you're judging, it's an image that grabs you. Sometimes you can go through lots of beautiful images, but occasionally one will just be quite dramatic and grab you, and this was definitely one of them, just something a little bit different. Again, just with the focusing, like the plane, the photographer. So Erica's, she's got the little nymph in focus, and then she's got the oh God, I can't even remember the name of the insect. It's been a really long day. Well, I can't remember what, but again, we need James. It is a pollinator.
Yeah,
They're I can never remember that. I always get a blank with these ones. But yeah, being it
the assassin, is that the
it's an
assassin bug?
assassin bug. That's it.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So yeah, quite sinister. You always see them lurking around in leaves trying to get their next victim. But yeah, good luck with that little quick nymph that's there. He does look like he's going to strike or she's going to strike. But yeah, it's just really different, and just the details in the little nymph, the little side profile. He almost looks kind of transparent, and it just really works with the. It's dark color, and it's just perfectly highlighted because of the softness, the beautiful softness, unobscured background. Yeah, it's very dramatic. We all loved it.
Yeah, it's incredible. Great photo. Okay, so the next one. Okay, so we've got a People's Choice Award category, and for this one, it's a $750 prize and 12-month subscription to Wild magazine and a certificate. And this is the People's Choice winner, which is a beautiful photo. And Connie, who took this photo, I think Connie might be here tonight. Connie, I'm not sure if you want to say anything, or it might be a bit of a surprise for you, whether you want to put your camera on and unmute yourself or not. You don't have to, but it is a beautiful photo. Angela, do you want to say a few words, and Connie might get some courage up in the meantime? We'll see how she goes.
Congratulations, Connie. This was just
Yeah,
such a stunning shot. And again, for me, it's all about the character, and they're just like hanging out, having a chat, and that's what we really liked about. And again, just the beautiful colors, like the color of the foliage that they're on, and the color of them, and then just all the detail, like you can just see all the little fluffy fur on them, and then the background's it's just a really beautiful shot, and again difficult to achieve. And I love the connection with the viewer. So there's one that's looking at us, and I think that's why I do like macro, because when you're getting eye level, and the critter's eye meets yours, and it just you're bringing you're kind of coming into their world, and that's why I do like macro photography. And this is just you just wouldn't see this detail with the naked eye. You could possibly walk past and not notice this little beautiful scene. So Connie, it's just a beautiful shot. Congratulations.
yeah, well done, Connie. Thanks, Angela. Yeah, just a gorgeous photo. So congratulations to you. Okay, and so we're up to the open second place winner this one. So $750 and a 12-month subscription to Wild magazine and a certificate for this one. And here it is, the beautiful teddy bear bees. Angela, do you want to have a few words about this one? Absolutely stunning.
It's just it was so hard picking first, second, third. This shot's just so perfect, lined up. And again, the first one's just got that eye contact with us. So it's like, they're all kind of in a line, but then, the one in front just really gets you. And they really live up to their reputation of teddy bears. They're so beautiful. Yeah, just a perfectly composed shot. And, obviously the dark background just really brings out the detail, and just the wing, just everything about it was just stunning. So yeah, congratulations, Casey.
Yeah, well done, Casey. And yeah, just
beautiful photo, and I'm sure that one's going to be a favourite of lots of people too. The teddy bear bee is a favourite. So okay, so moving up. So this is our first place winner. I'm not sure if they're going to be here or not, but we'll see if they want to make themselves known. So yeah, our open winner, first place winner, gets a $1,500 prize and a 12-month subscription to Wild Magazine and a certificate. And I won't hold it up any longer. And here it is, just a beautiful photo. And Craig Lockall, I think is how you pronounce your name, Craig. Congratulations, Craig. And Craig actually took second place last year in this competition as well. So another one that's come back for another round and done well and won the competition. So well done, Craig. And Angela, did you want to talk about the winning photo?
Just this one grabbed me straight away. And again, when you're judging and you're going through lots of photos, it's the ones that just grab you straight away. And this one did. And again, you know, I talk about, you know, how macro photography is fantastic because you're being drawn into a tiny, minute world that you wouldn't see with the naked eye. And this is just such, and you know, it's got humor, it's got the connection to the viewer, and all different stages, you know, like the cute little, you know, bum end of the little bee on the left, and then, you know, just yeah, I just it and just the colors, the unobscured background, yeah, just perfect and cute and different as well. I think that's, you know, it just it really struck us. It's just just a little bit different, a little bit humorous, and
Yeah.
connection with the viewer.
Yeah, very, very clever capturing that one, that's for sure. And yeah, beautiful. And as you say, it is a little bit unique, isn't it, to some of them? So
Yeah, it's a bit of a different perspective.
yeah.
And I think that's the thing, you know, you just trying to think outside the box, that, you know, when you're putting photos in, you want to try and grab the judge's attention like straight away with something that's a little bit different, a little bit unusual.
Yeah, that's a really good tip actually. So it'll maybe give everyone something to think about for next year, and get their entries ready. I'll stop. I'm not sure if we've got. Yeah, so we're back to our sponsors here. And I just another big thank you to our sponsors for their support again this year, and supporting all the prizes, and making this possible. We definitely wouldn't be able to do it without all these sponsors. So thank you again for all your support this year. And I'll just stop sharing, and I'm not sure if we've got any questions in the Q&A. Just tab that there's none at the moment, but what have we got in the chat? Has anyone put in any in the chat? No, I've just got some beautiful comments in the chat for the winners, which is lovely. Unless anyone has a question that they want to ask now, I'll give you a few minutes to have a little think about that. And I'll just get myself ready here as well. But yeah, it's been great to have your feedback, Angela, and thank you. Oh, look who you've got on your shoulder. Oh, what a cutie. Oh, who's that? You're on mute. If you want to unmute yourself and tell us about your friend there.
This is my pet rescue cockatoo, Casper. So he was sitting patiently on his perch, and he started rattling, getting a bit aggro. So yeah, he won't sit on my shoulder, but I can't wear my glasses, so I won't be able to see.
Oh, what a beautiful bird! Yeah, lovely. Oh, that's very nice. Thank you for joining us. That's lovely. All right. Well, I don't think we've got any questions coming through, but I'm sure people. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We've got one coming in. Any advice if you only have an iPhone but love to take photos?
It's difficult taking macro photos with an iPhone, but I think you can get some macro attachments. But obviously it depends on the make of the phone. But I think like with larger insects like butterflies, are a lot easier to do. I always say, you know, like flowers. But yeah, it just macro is tricky with the phone because the whole idea of macro is to get, you know, really close up, almost kind of entering another world, which, you know, the phone doesn't, but definitely good for butterflies, birds and things like that. And sometimes just being, I know for me, so at the moment I've got these resin bees outside of my house. We've got a little bee hotel happening in this old lamppost, wooden lamppost. And I just noticed them. So I've actually been using my phone to do slow-mo, to film them kind of coming out in the morning. So yeah, even
All right.
so I think even if you can't take really close-up macro photos, because you would have to get quite close, and if you do cast shadows on insects, they're often a flash. But you know, if you could just distance and zoom in and do some slow-mo, that's really interesting, especially with bees, butterflies, or anything that flies around. I find when I was in the UK earlier this year, there's a hummingbird moth which I've always wanted to photograph, and it just happened to be when I didn't have my camera with me, so I just did like a little slow-mo video, which was really spectacular. So yeah, maybe explore the video functions on your phone, because you can get some amazing footage.
Oh, thank you. That's a great tip. I might give that a try. Any other questions? We'll give people a few minutes. No, looks like we just have the one for tonight. But it was a great question. Thank you. And before we wrap up, I just want to say a really heartfelt thank you to all our entrants. Just your creativity and your love for pollinators made this competition, and some gorgeous photos. And yeah, obviously people are out there watching their pollinators and getting amongst them, and that's a really lovely to see. And the photos are a lovely way to share, you know, how beautiful our pollinators are. So thank you very much for entering and being part of the competition. And thank you to our judges, Sophie, James and Angela, for your time and your eyes and your input and your knowledge. We really appreciate it. And yeah, it's obviously a pretty tricky job, and I don't know how you did it, but it's, yeah, you've been great, and just the input and the knowledge that you put into choosing them is incredible, and we really appreciate you sharing that with us. And to our sponsors again for making the event possible, we really appreciate your support. And I just want to say a very special thank you to Candice, she's hiding behind there. She's in the background making things happen. So thank you to Candice. And yeah, thank you all for joining us to celebrate the pollinators and the competition and all the winners. And Ween Bee Foundation is a charity, and if you can spare any donations, please donate via our website. But also please sign up to our newsletter if you want to keep in touch, and please have a go for the next competition next year. We have them every year. I think this is the I think this will be the 4th year that we've held the competition. So we're definitely going to try and have another one next year. So thank you all for coming along and joining us tonight and sharing sharing the celebration, and congratulations to all the winners.
Thank you.
Thanks, Angela. Thank you all.